All right. These are some of my favorite videos that I get to do for you. So, I buy collections from people, right? Uh, and I do lots of things with them. I will sometimes just sell them. I'll sometimes put them in my own PC. Sometimes I add them as like extra goodies while I'm streaming for you guys. But the really fun part is once in a blue moon, I find a collection that blows my mind. This collection is I just have to show you. Yu-Gi-Oh! You guys know me for Pokemon for the most part. Obviously, there's Pokemon behind me, but I also mess with Digimon, Yu-Gi-Oh!, Dragon Ball, My Hero Academia, and oh boy, is that it? Yu-Gi-Oh!, Digimon, Dragon Ball, My Hero Academia, soon to be MetaZoo, of course, Pokemon. Anyway, I bought a massive collection. I just pulled these cards out. I'm gonna get these cards graded. You saw a collection purchase from a little while ago where I got Pokemon. Those are gonna get graded in the same batch as this. And let's not talk about it anymore. Let's just start showing what we got. So massive collection. I could not narrow it down. I couldn't narrow it down. There's so many things in here. Let me start pulling these up here. Let's make sure that we don't have too much of a glare on it. Why do we start with the leg? Because my goodness, Exodia. It is. I'm going to get it organized too. I was just too excited. I had to show you guys what I bought. So many of these cards come from my childhood where it's just so cool to see so much old meta, the Dark Paladin, and a lot of these are from Legendary Collection sets as well. So it's just a lot of things that you may recognize if you watched the Yu-Gi-Oh anime. I'd call it a cartoon to upset some people, but I don't want to really upset anybody. So I found lots of things in this collection. And the funny thing is about this collection is it was terribly unorganized, and it was like the gift that kept on giving. I kept finding more and more in it. I mean, as you're seeing here, these Egyptian god cards, absolutely incredible. You start seeing some other things that you may recognize, just some of the more meta cards, just back from original. When you see like Yugi, Kaiba, Joey, everyone. I mean, it's wild. There was some 5Ds in here, so you'll see a little bit of that as well. Obviously, tons of Exodia, tons of magicians. This was one of the coolest parts of the collection, was all the magician, dark magician action. Some of the cards not in the best condition. Totally okay though, because I'm still gonna get them graded, because why not? Again, not always in the best condition. You see a ton of silvering on the outside. But for some of these things, just to be graded, just to get encapsulated, just for funsies, I am okay with that. I love seeing both of these cards together. I purposefully left these two together because you have the original and you have the reprint. Beautiful art, just awesome to see both of them. We have so many magicians in here as well. Like I said, the condition may not be the best for all of them, but I still like seeing it again. That is childhood right there. Just tons of magician action. If you had a favorite card, nice blue eyes. If you had a favorite card when you were younger, and if you collect Yu-Gi-Oh, let me know. I'm so curious what you guys liked. Obviously, I know what I like as a collector, uh, but I also know that there's so much more than what I personally enjoyed. Some weird ones that float in there, but why not grade them? Again, you look at some of these are just old cards from some of the original starter decks. Some of them are promos from movies. Let me reorganize this real quick, and then let me get on to the next stack. That was only a third. That was a third of the collection that I decided to keep to grade. When you look at just how massive this whole thing is, like, it's wild. And oh, another one of my favorites. I love the Dark Paladin card, but what's so cool about this one, the name's not centered right. So obviously not good condition, but man, isn't that cool to see the name sunken down there and not centered? Just a fun one. You got more of the blue eyes. You got more. I'm telling you, more older vintage cards were in this collection. The movie promos are absolutely fun to see as well. A lot of this collection too was very like, man, I don't even want to say near mint, but it was pretty near mint. It was such a chaotic collection, and there were so many duplicates, as you're seeing, just dupes on dupes. Um, but man, I mean, you have to imagine my surprise when I find this collection. And from what it seems, it was not the most amazing collection, But then you have all these solemn judgments worth over $10 a piece, just absolutely killing it. Torrential tributes. I mean, these cards put in work, just work, 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 and still, even though these are from the Legendary Collection, even though those are some of the original cards that you saw in the anime, they are still printed today and still putting in some awesome work and value. I mean, there was nice Torrential Tribute CRs recently. You got Scapegoat. Of course, you like this Scapegoat. Beautiful art as well. The foiling on them, I'm telling you, just good looking. Again, tons of duplicates. It is pretty wild. You got all the beauty. Of course, you remember Pot of Greed. Pot of Greed, the card that has the fewest words on it in all of Yu-Gi-Oh! And kind of a fun one. Oh my goodness, more Egyptian God cards. I got to move those around. Some really cool ones too. Ghost rares. You may not know about a ghost rare, and I really like the concept of it. If you look at it, let me try and make it so, hey, there it is. It looks just like a mirror. I mean, that's showing the Charizard UPC cases behind me, but then you turn a little bit, blammo, you got a full character design in there. It's a very cool concept for a card. Couple token actions. The Max C, nice card, nice value. Again, the value on value is there. You see some bug action, you may recognize those. The Chaos Sorcerer, just some fun ones. I'm telling you, man, it was a wild ride. And I think some of it too, you know, when I start looking at what things could potentially grade as Monster Reborn, I mean, we all remember the Monster Reborn. When I start looking at what some of these things could grade as, I was like, no way, is that really potentially what it could be worth? And so I take that gamble. You know, that's part of the gamble of getting things graded. But I also, you know, I look at this as my own personal adventure of, you know, let me get some things graded for my own PC. Let me also get some things graded to just encapsulate them. But then I know people will want them. So I will be streaming these on Whatnot. I will probably put a few of them on eBay as well. So some of the higher up grades you may see on there. If I get some 10s, I'm hoping. There are so many of these cards in here, and a lot of them pretty good condition, very well centered. So it's not out of the question to potentially pull some 10s, you know. Again, it's this collection, it was the collection that just kept on giving. It was so full and loaded. I felt like this. I was just in a storm of cards, and then I felt like, oh my goodness, I'm throwing all these cards over here trying to figure it out. But then I was reborn, and I said, wow, I found the collection. And then the sun rose, and I saw daylight, and I said, I'm gonna grade this massive collection. Then the sun kept rising, and then I lost cards again. But I could tell whatever story you want to hear. But yeah, it's really, man, just pretty wild. Again, when you look at just all the different cards in this collection, I think even if you're not the biggest Yu-Gi-Oh fan, I think you can appreciate the art on the cards. And yeah, I'm flipping through them a little quickly, but man, I don't know how many cards there are here. I'll have to give you a count later, but I mean, man, if I went through and gave time, if I read everything, the paragraphs down here, one, I'd have to wear my glasses because I couldn't do this without my glasses. This is some small font, but man, the video length of reading everything and saying, oh wow, here's this. Even though there are a lot of dupes in here, it's still, man, it would take some time. But Gravity Bind, I mean, things like that you recognize from your childhood. If you watch the show, I'm sure it was in the first season where you could see just a couple of them. You also see the Foolish Burial. I mean, another one. Just again, the Legendary Collection decks, they are legendary for a reason. They have all of these wild cards in it, and the value, again, just crazy, crazy value in it. I love seeing a nice mystical Space Typhoon. Book of Moon, it's okay, but what's better? Polymerization. Love, love, love that card. I mean, everybody recognizes polymerization. We start talking about polymerization, we start pulling little baby dragons too. So you see those, I'm sure you have to remember that. I mean, the Harpy Ladies as well. You talk about the legendary decks, you know they are legendary for a reason. And again, these are all going to go off to get graded. CGC, I am a dealer for CGC. I do offer grading to you guys as well. So if that's something you'd be interested in, let me know. Comment below, message me on social media. Instagram is always a really good, simple way of getting a hold of me. And I can help you grade 14 a card, plus a couple other fees that CGC charges, but the transparency will be there before you want your collection graded. Last stack to see what there is. Again, just some wild cards. I think, man, a few of you guys from Discord, you know, I mentioned this collection. I was just like, holy shoot. I just hit the mother load. I tried to look through it, and oh my goodness, like just it's wild. Again, Harpy Lady. I know a few of you in Discord were talking about the Harpy Ladies and how you appreciate them as well. Things like this, there's some weird ones coming up now, so we kind of leave the legendary collection and we get into like a few of the more like random things. Totally awesome, just a raw card that's over $10. And then yeah, you find just all these random cards. The Karibo, I don't know how I missed that in the first time around. More sorcerers, more dimensional barriers. You have nice just secret foils. The foiling on these are beautiful. You got Ghost Reapers, and Ghost Reapers still being printed too. Solemn Strikes. Trap Tricks just came out with a new structure deck as well. We have that for sale, but that's a new meta, not a new meta, but it's a new concept where you can actually build a really strong deck by only, I want to say you could buy 3 of those decks for $45 and put some of the cards together, and you have a very, very competitive deck for only $45, and you could win some of your locals with a deck like that. Cyber Strike was like that, and there's a few others that have come out recently that you can win your locals pretty simply. Love the heroes. Always a fan of heroes. I hope there's more heroes. Summon Skull. I mean, my goodness, you remember that from the original Yu-Gi-Oh deck. We keep going, but my goodness, I'm telling you, this collection, I don't know how many more times I can say it. This collection just kept giving polymerization. I love that. More polymerization. Some of these were really cool because these were just all foiled up. So I'm going to hold them at a little bit different angle. Mirror Force, we all remember that too. My goodness, the Dark Hole, it looks even darker that way. More Max C with the gold outline from Premium Gold. You got any tunes? Yeah, we got some tunes in here too. A couple Red Eye Toon Dragons. So, man, still, like, even as I look through this for this video, I am still astounded. Again, the Eye of Tiamat, I mean, that just wild value in this collection. So to find as much as we found out of here, XY Dragon, I mean, these are just fun things. We got more of the foils. Archfiend Gilfer, again, just old, not the best condition, tons of silvering on it, but just pretty wild, to find this amount of stuff. Blade Knight, same thing, silvering, not the best condition, but fun to see it. Swift Gaia, the Fierce Knight, again, you remember these guys. Insect Queen, again, but this one, I meant for this one to be last, but this was the biggest, wildest surprise. Harpy's Pet Dragon, pretty good condition, definitely not going to be a 10. Probably a 6, 7, or 8, honestly. So I'm a little bit disappointed in that. I almost want to just sell it raw. Actually probably 7 or 8. But absolutely wild card right here. Go look the value up of Harpy's Pet Dragon, and you might be amazed as well. A busted polymerization, still love it. The Flute of Summoning Dragon, busted, still love it. Multiply, damage. Black Magic Ritual, all the silvering you could ever want in a card, but still a fun one. Couple more full foils. Just an amazing collection, and you can find all of that soon to be graded, and we'll have a video for you. We will show the grades of all of them. I'll do it blindly as well, so you won't know, I won't know, you won't know. We'll see it together for the first time, so I'm pretty excited about that. But that's all I got for you guys. So again, we bought a collection. What are we going to do with it? Sell it. So let's see if we can be profitable. Let's get some good grades, and thanks for watching. I'll see you later.